Do you like running down the street naked? I don't. It takes a lot of courage. Courage you will find if you wear one of these Polizei 144 shirts. And if you wear one, you might even start talking like this. Like the time Clint Eastwood said to me, "That's a pretty fancy jacket." That's the same thing he would say to you if you were wearing one of these shirts, available at polizei144.com. Or you could click the link in the description to find the link you need. Because I don't drive junk. Is that how it's supposed to go? Are you sure that works with that voice? Ah, fuck it. Do you enjoy intercourse? I do. Today we go deep into the past, Germany's past, to see a vehicle that delivers more intercourse than any vehicle ever manufactured in Europe. This. Exterior styling. The Trabant is beautiful. It comes in the same green you will find on a brand new Lamborghini Huracan for a fraction of the price. It's timeless. It was designed in 1959. It's edible. It's made of Duraplast, which is a form of material invented by the communists, which means you can eat your way to survival if you're trapped, say, in a cul-de-sac in the hills above Los Angeles during a firestorm. It is absolutely wonderful, and will bring you intercourse if you park it in front of any college in the northeast of the United States. The Morgan has these beautiful 18-inch wire spoke wheels with these sport tires, which are awesome, obviously, because it's on a Morgan, whereas the Trabant has these white steel wheels with sport-looking tires with a white stripe, which would seem to be very weak, except that this was originally spec'd out in 1959, when this would have been incredibly awesome, and it is awesome, and I think the Morgan loses. Headlights. The Morgan obviously has these amazing headlights which are exposed, whereas the Trabant's headlights use this amazing quick release mechanism which allows you to release them and quickly replace them from AutoZone for less than $30, which makes it much better than the Morgan, and therefore the Morgan loses. The windshield is perfectly aligned to allow people to take Instagram pictures of you with your lover in such a way that you look cool, unlike in the Morgan where you will be pictured freezing to death, wearing goggles, and you know something? I want to say this is junk, but the Morgan loses. Mirrors. The mirrors are very well designed and also double as an anti-theft device, because if you try to move them, you will find they will not move unless you have a screwdriver that you place underneath, and you know, it's brilliant. And that means that this is not junk and the Morgan loses. Visibility. It's amazing. You have a bright color, a low belt line, and a roof in a vehicle in which you want to be seen. I would like to say that this is junk, but it isn't, because the Morgan loses. The vehicle comes with all these amazing flags. This one is from Poland. However, many people think it's from Albania, which doubles down on all the countries in which the bad guys who are kidnappers from the movie Taken might come from. And if you should run into someone who actually is a kidnapper, they will think you are one of them, and you will have one less enemy on your list. This is very cool. This is not junk, and the Morgan loses. Luggage capacity. Nothing says circle of life more than a vehicle that helps you release your load. Look at how much you can transport on the Trabant. You've got this luggage rack with a quick release, in addition to the trunk. But most importantly, in the context of the interior capacity, you can transport all of your partners and your offspring, making the Trabant the perfect vehicle in which it's the last vehicle you may ever own. The trunk is amazing. You can fit 7 spare tires, and it comes with a 6-pack and tools and spare parts, some tools, some more spare parts. Some will tell you, in fact, anyone will tell you that partners who are into green technology and lightweight materials want to have more intercourse. And you'll notice here that the Duraplast panels do not perfectly align, and that we have these panel gaps. But you know what? No one cares, as is evidenced by Tesla, because here we have green tech that would make Elon Musk weep. Finally, a vehicle with patina that is not fake. The patina package adds character and guarantees that you will make friends everywhere and pay very little for repairs. This is not junk, and the Morgan loses. Ingress and egress. Very well designed, very easy to enter, and lots of clearance. It's excellent. It's excellent. The interior is a masterpiece of economy of design. Everyone at Volvo should weep. For example, you have this very simple gauge cluster with a speedometer and an integrated fuel economy and tach, all in one. It's amazing. Here you have the radio delete option, which improves your fuel economy, which is terrific. And then you have your heating controls, which are very simple, knobs and levers. Here you have your fuel control, your easy pass section. Here you have the aftermarket stereo, which is superior to that in the Morgan. And what I'm told was a handle, which doesn't look true, but I suppose. Let's check the owner's manual, which is this very economical single sheet of paper. Maybe that's not the manual. Maybe you don't even need a manual because it's so obvious. Let's put this away. Transmission, a brilliant design that has never been duplicated because it was too brilliant. You put the clutch down and your transmission is here, so it's first gear, second gear, and then you have these amazingly simple controls. Wipers, lights, option delete, so you can install aftermarket switches, hazards, so obvious. And of course, the exposed electrical system, which makes it easier to repair. I want to say this is junk, but obviously it's not, because this is brilliant and the Morgan loses. The Morgan has lost every single comparison test against the Trabant so far, which would make the Trabant, in theory, the greatest vehicle in the history of Morgan versus, and perhaps the greatest vehicle of all time, and not just for the purposes of intercourse. There's only one test left, and that is driving impressions.
Of course the Trabant is best and the Morgan is junk. Take a look. Look at the Morgan. It's only got 3 wheels. Trabant's got 4 wheels. The Trabant has a roof and the Morgan doesn't. Outstanding car the Trabant is. I agree with Roy totally. Does beat the Morgan. The Morgan is junk. The engine's even out without a hood on it. Definitely the Trabant is a much better car. I agree with Roy.
Hey, I said it was cool, not because I like you. It's not. My car doesn't actually suck. This car is junk. Just give me a little. Should have mentioned earlier that this is a 600cc air-cooled motor. Therefore, it has a lot in common with, say, Porsche 911s, Harley-Davidsons, and Morgan three-wheelers. What it does not have in common is that it's a 2-stroke motor, which means you have to put oil in every time you refill. But then again, the Morgan, which technically is 4-stroke, also requires that oil be put in it every time you refill because it is always leaking oil. Therefore, I would call that a tie. The handling is terrible, but that's canceled out by the incredible styling, visibility, and character. The brakes are terrible, much like the Morgan. It's really hard to tell the difference between the vehicles other than the fact that this has a roof. In fact, I would say that the quality of ownership is probably equal, which leaves only one sad truth. This vehicle costs $3,500, and according to the owner, it paid for itself in 5 years. The Morgan will never pay for itself because I've pretty much spent double the value of the vehicle on repairs in the first 2 years. Therefore, unless this catches fire in the next 50 feet, the Morgan is junk. And for the first time in the history of Morgan versus, something else is going to win. And the winner is the greatest vehicle of 2017 and maybe the last 70 years. The Trabant, a tribute to human ingenuity, not junk.